You may know that Alaska has an incredibly diverse workforce.
What you might not know, because many disabilities are not obvious, is that 1 in 5 adults in Alaska have some type of disability.
A disability can be any chronic medical issue that impacts your life. So, even if you do not have a disability, you probably know people who do. They may be your neighbors, co-workers, family, and friends.
And as we get older, the odds of experiencing a disability increase.
Luckily, having a disability does not preclude you from having a career and being a valued, respected employee.
Let's hear from Scott Martin about how a life-changing disability turned into a new career he had never thought possible.
I was working on the north slope for ASRC. I was a roustabout lead. I was in charge of building all the well houses for the Kapari field and demoing the old ones and just upkeep on pads and daily maintenance and stuff. It just wore out. Just 30 years of construction and wrestling in college and playing softball and powerlifting and just going crazy. It just wore out. Everything was bone on bone. And after having both knees replaced at once, that wasn't happening again. It wasn't an option. When the doctor told me I was done, I was devastated. I mean, he said, "No more construction for you. You have to find an office job." And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I've never worked in an office in my life. I mean, next thing I know, I'm in college, and then I'm graduating and looking for a job. It happened about that fast. I got a lot more self-confidence now because I never did like change much, but change is a part of life.
DVR provides services to people with disabilities and to employers to meet the needs of the workforce. Now, let's hear from Christine Johnson about how her professional development and employment options were enhanced by support from the Alaska Division of Vocational Rehabilitation.
Originally, before I was aware, I thought disability meant missing a limb, having a mental health issue. I never saw a substance use disorder. I didn't see myself as having a disability. I blamed myself for my bad choices and my path in life. And then when I found out, wow, this is a disability, I felt a little bit better. I felt more hope, and I utilized the resource that was handed to me. They gave me value and purpose. They gave me a career versus continuing to do odd jobs. I didn't know that I had this in me, and they gave me the hope, and they showed me that this was possible. I am doing something now that I never dreamed I was doing. I'm a substance use disorder counselor with Fairbanks Native Association's Ralph Perdue Center.
These are just 2 of the many people with disabilities who have been hired by the great employers here in Alaska.
Because they know disability is all of us.